Have you ever worked so hard and still felt like nothing was changing? You wake up, you try again, you give everything you have, and somehow life still doesn't seem to move forward. If you've ever felt that way, this story is for you. There was a young man named Ethan who had one simple dream. He wanted to change his life. He didn't want to be rich overnight. He didn't want fame. He just wanted to wake up one day and feel proud of the person he had become. But life wasn't going according to plan. Ethan had tried starting a small business. It failed. He applied for dozens of jobs. Rejection after rejection. He started going to the gym, but after a few weeks, he stopped. He tried learning new skills, but whenever things became difficult, he told himself, maybe I'm just not good enough. One night, Ethan sat alone in his small apartment. He looked at his phone, another rejection email. He put the phone down and whispered, maybe this is all my life is going to be. For the first time, Ethan seriously considered giving up. The next morning, while walking through a park, he noticed an old man pushing a broken bicycle. The old man looked frustrated. Ethan walked over and asked, "Do you need some help?" The man smiled and said, "Maybe, but I've learned something important about broken things." Ethan asked, "What?" The old man pointed at the bicycle. "Just because something is broken today doesn't mean it can't work tomorrow." Ethan smiled politely. But before he left, the old man said something that stayed in his mind. "Young man, never judge your entire future by one bad day." That sentence changed something inside Ethan. That evening, he opened a notebook. At the top of the first page, he wrote, "I don't need to change my whole life tomorrow. I just need to make tomorrow better than today." So he started small. He read 10 pages every morning. He exercised for just 15 minutes. He applied for 3 jobs every day. He spent on learning a valuable skill. Some days were terrible. Some days he wanted to quit. But this time, he stopped asking, "When will my life finally change?" Instead, he asked, "What can I do today?" Weeks passed, then months. And slowly, something happened. Ethan became different. Not because life suddenly became easier, but because he became stronger. One morning, his phone rang. It was a company he had applied to months earlier. They wanted to interview him. He got the job. It wasn't his dream job, but it was a beginning. A year later, Ethan had learned enough skills to start his own business again. This time, he succeeded. Not because he was smarter than everyone else, not because he never failed, but because he finally understood something most people learn too late. Success is rarely one giant breakthrough. It is usually hundreds of small decisions that nobody sees. The morning you get out of bed when you want to stay there. The workout you finish when you don't feel motivated. The application you send after another rejection. The skill you practice when nobody is watching. The decision to try one more time. And maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're watching everyone around you succeed while wondering why your life isn't moving. Maybe you've failed so many times that you're starting to believe failure is who you are. But listen carefully. Failure is something you experienced. It is not who you are. Your current situation is not your final destination. And your worst chapter does not determine how your story ends. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You don't need to become successful overnight. You just need to keep moving. One step, one decision, one day at a time. Because sometimes the difference between the person who succeeds and the person who gives up is simply that one of them decided to try one more time. So if life feels difficult right now, don't ask yourself, "Can I change my entire life?" Ask yourself something smaller. What is one thing I can do today? Do that. Then tomorrow, do one more. And one day, you may look back at the person who almost gave up and realize that was the exact moment your life began to change. Your story isn't over. You're still writing it. So keep going. Your next chapter could be the one you've been waiting for. And if this story gave you even a little hope today, hit the like button, not just for me, but as a promise to yourself that you're not giving up. And if you believe your best days are still ahead, subscribe to the channel and stay with us. Because every week we'll remind you of one simple thing. You can fall, you can fail, you can start over. But whatever you do, don't give up on yourself. See you in the next story.